KamoKlauZ show. As you noticed, if you look at my profile on my YouTube channel, I got rid of Krillin with JakKlauZ. I got rid of that, and now it's just the KamoKlauZ. The KamoKlauZ show is what it is. And I got rid of some of the other stuff. So if you watch the KamoKlauZ show is basically me going live in front of you, in front of my friends on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So the KamoKlauZ show is basically me. And if any of you guys know who I am, you guys know that I love this movie called Ed TV. And Ed TV was basically what my life was going to be like. Is basically I wanted a camera to follow me around everywhere I went, except for the bathroom. Because I just want to live my life, dude. And I like going live, and I like going places. But like places like Buffalo Wild Wings and stuff like that, I can't go inside the place because they always have music going, which is one thing that, I'm just in there trying to shoot a food video. Like Buffalo Wild Wings right now, they have the all-you-can-eat wings. Yeah, you can get boneless or you can get traditional. I think boneless is like boneless is like $18.99, and traditional is like $24.99 or bone in. Yeah, bone in. I wish I could bone in somebody. Oh man, I wish I could bone in somebody. I really wish I could. But Buffalo Wild Wings, I went there tonight, sat down, and it was really fun to be there. I was really enjoying it, and I was really having a good time. Buffalo Wild Wings, great place to go eat. I really like it. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm only one man in this world of cooties and bullshit and everything else. I've also noticed on a website that I joined called like Vikings and Shield Maidens. It's on Facebook, and they had this one girl. She was posting videos. And she was she's decently hot and decently attractive, and I thought she was a fake profile, just like every other freaking girl that you see come on some of these pages. I mean, you think, God, she's so gorgeous, but what the hell is she doing on a thing? And she's got a blue check mark next to her name, so obviously she's real, and she's legit. And now I've sent messages to her being nice and everything, trying to tell her that I'm sorry for being such a douche, but obviously she doesn't give two shits again. On the JakKlauZ dating watch, not a fucking thing's happening in that, because again, nobody wants to fucking date me. Nobody wants to date a guy like me. Who wants to be around a guy who basically, if he takes you out to dinner, he'll pay for everything. He'll do whatever the fuck you want him to do, and you can walk all over his ass, and he doesn't even ask for anything. I mean, this girl that I met a long time ago who works at Madden's right now, her name is Christina Hines. She came down, she was from Jamaica, and beautiful girl. She was like 5'0", gorgeous, beautiful body, whatever. She's actually back at Madden's right now. And she broke my heart because she came to my house. She stayed with me for a night. We tried to cuddle and everything else. And then basically all she wanted me to do was pay for everything for her. And she basically was a gold digger. And so she was from Jamaica, and she was a gold digger. And and I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell brought that on, and why she just seemed like I was supposed to pay for everything for her, but that's not how it works, and I really don't get it. I really don't understand, like, what I ever did to deserve this. I mean, I know that you guys probably can't see me right now because I got some, god-awful light in my head. Well, it's like I don't know what's going on, but there's like a light inside this van that just... My, like, Facebook... My computer screen is completely all fucked up right now because I don't know what the hell is wrong with my phone because I got all this stupid shit all over my screen and I can't fucking clean off my goddamn screen all the time because I don't have enough fucking rubbing alcohol because I can't find any rubbing alcohol in my fucking house. But every time I go live in this stupid fucking van, it's like God is like looking down going, oh, like he's like putting down some like lights or something and magically finding angels or something to like caress my screen for some odd reason. But, okay, and see, it just did it now. I like cleaned this off and then all of a sudden I put my hand on there and like I get God angels on here. What the fuck is going on with my camera? Do I need to buy a new fucking phone? I swear to God, I need to buy a new phone. Because, like... So, I used to use this program. It's called Prism. It's called Prism Live. And it's a great live thing because you can go live on YouTube, but you don't have to have 1,000 viewers. Because the only way YouTube lets you go live is if you have 1,000 viewers. Well... On your computer, you can go live anytime you want to. But on your fucking mobile device, which everybody has, okay? I have never in my life have ever seen so many people use cell phones. Like, there are people who use cell phones when they drive. They do it all the time. But, like, people use their phone every day more than they even use their own personal computer. Like... Nobody uses a personal computer like they used to. Now, see, not like they used to. I mean, I remember when you had to use dial-up and you had to connect to a thing where it was like going like, ding, 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 ding. And that's like, you've got mail. And yeah, it was AOL. Remember when we had to connect to AOL and we had to go to Netscape or Netscape Navigator or Netscape Navigator to do stuff? And then, you know, we had IRC chat or MRC chat or whatever like that, and everything was so up shit's creek without a paddle. But now, you know, everybody uses their cell phone for everything. So, yeah, so they use their phone for everything. And it's just funny. It's like really, really funny how everybody uses their phone for everything. And you sit here and you're like, you sit here and you just want to go live all the time, but you can't because you don't have this many followers or whatever. So you have to sit at home and then you have to use your computer. But Facebook lets you go live all the time. Twitch, I don't know what Twitch does, you know. I go on Twitch all the time and there are these girls licking the microphone. And it sounds like they're playing with their cooters or whatever. Which I think is really fucking stupid. How is that, you know, how is that cool? Why don't you do that on like CheddarBait or like the one where you can get paid to masturbate online? I know. I mean, there's all these different sites that I used to go to when I was back in the day when I was like really big on porn, which I don't really understand porn now. I mean, it's not really, you know, it's not really cool because all it is angles, boner pills, girls lying about how big it is, you know, it's like, you know, it's not how it used to be, you know what I'm saying? So, that's why I don't like, you know, like, I don't like Pornhub, and I don't like any of those places anymore, because those are just, you know, they're just, like, they're basically giving off false accusations for a lot of things, and then 90% of the time when you go there, you just feel like you're lonely. So, basically, you know, porn is just not something for me, and you know, with me being KamoKlauZ, I'm not really interested in it anymore. I mean, dating, I'm not even interested in that anymore. I just tell people my life story. Yes, I'm going through a divorce. It kind of sucks being alone, but the thing is that, you know, I'm alone. I can't do anything about it anymore. I'm done. I'm done dating with people. I'm done being on, you know, I'm done, you know, doing the whole dating thing because, you know, they always say that the girl that you had for the first time was the girl that you were going to be with for the rest of your life. Obviously, that didn't work because she's not here now. Joe, like I said, my ex-wife, Joe, you guys know who she is. I talk about her all the time. I don't talk bad about her. I've never really talked bad about my wife. No, I never have. I've always said that she just hasn't gotten the paperwork together yet, or she's working on things. But I've never bashed her on here before, and she says I have. Joe said that I bashed her on Facebook and YouTube and everything one time on a live, and I never did. I think I said something about how her and I were fighting and how her and I were, going through a lot, and she was jealous about things, but that's about it. I've never really ever hated Joe. No, I don't hate her. I don't hate Joe. I do not hate Joe. I hate the decisions in life that we've made, but, we're getting over it. We're moving on. Excuse me. So, yeah. And I have 5 videos that I did, short videos that I have on my computer, that I got to make into a thing where I'm just going to post them up, and they're going to be the Over the John intro videos. They're going to be shorts. So I'm going to put them on my face. I'm going to put them on my YouTube channel. It's going to be the Over the John. It's going to be OJT, Over the John Cabinet, or OJC or whatever like that. I'm just going to write Over the John Cabinet video number 1. And then we're going to do video number 1, then video number 2, video number 3, and video 4, and 5, and so forth and so on. The cabinet is actually built. I'm actually going to show you on Saturday what had happened and tell you guys what happened with it and what happened when I was installing it and what we did and how we turned a negative into a positive and how the Over the John cabinet is now on my wall. I have to mount it. I actually have to mount it onto the wall and show you guys the video of what you do to make a situation turned into a positive thing. So that's what we're going to do on Saturday, before the Minnesota After Dark podcast. When I go live, when I go up to Minnesota After Dark, because we are going to start going live and we're going to start doing stuff with them again. With Minnesota After Dark, we have to go live because the car shows have been actually becoming really wonderful, and we're going to start going live because, well, I want people to know that we're there, and I want people to actually come up and, and hang out. But, that's what people want to do, and that's their choice, I can't really make people do what they want to do, I'm only a one man, I'm only one man, one desire. Where's my money, bitch? No. Yeah. But the thing is that, I just don't want people to sit here and keep on, thinking that, you're going to watch a JakKlauZ video and you're going to think, something, whatever. And sometimes, when I have my shirt off, okay, sometimes when I have my shirt off, I know that I'm not doing that because I'm trying to get likes or anything, because I have a dad bod, but I don't have any kids. Yeah, basically what I mean by that is I have a dad bod, but I don't have any more family anymore because my family, we're all in the separation process right now, and we're not together anymore. So I don't have to worry about it. But I still love my kids. I still love my stepdaughter. I still love Louie, and I love the choices that he makes in life. But I'm not with their mom anymore, so they're not going to like me. So that's fine. I mean, it's their choice if they want to like me or not. I don't care. If you guys want to like me, that's your choice. If you want to hate me, hate me. But I am not going to do anything to hate you guys. I'm not going to bash you. I'm not going to dislike you. I'm not going to, cause shame to you or anything like that. I'm just going to live my life because that's all I want to do is live my life. But, I'm concentrating everything on JakKlauZ, and becoming KamoKlauZ and becoming everything that you see. I mean, now I got the braids going. My my stepmom, my work mom. Well, my KamoKlauZ mom, basically, is what her name is, Julie. She's the best. She's not my real mother, but she's the lady that's doing a lot of stuff with KamoKlauZ, and she's helping me out. She's like the behind the scenes mom. So she's kind of like, Mother Nature or whatever, And then Tristan, he's the one that cuts the hair. He's the one that, does everything. You guys are seeing that my hair and my beard are actually changing colors. So I'm actually getting older. I'm getting legendary. I'm starting to turn white, and I would really love for JakKlauZ or JakKlauZ Frosty Claus, aka KamoKlauZ, to become, me in the state of Minnesota, and that's what I want to be. I don't want somebody to take KamoKlauZ away from me because that's my thing. I started it 13 years ago. And I did it because the reason why I did it was because, one, I wanted to be different. I wanted to, take a snow camo suit, dye it red, and have, like, the tree and all that kind of stuff in it, like the tree camo, like the woodland tree camo and everything. But then, over the years, I found this red and green camo pattern, and I just love it. And everything's come together, like the Minnesota Wild colors just happen to be red and green. So, and I want to be the Santa Claus for the Minnesota Wild. I want to be Wild Claus, or something for them. Somebody said to me, Jack, why don't you be the new Santa Claus for the new millennium? Why don't you be the new KamoKlauZ? Why don't you be Minnesota Santa? Because, I want to do something for me. That's what I want to be, And I don't want people to take KamoKlauZ away from me because that's my thing. I started it 13 years ago, and I'm going to keep on doing it because I love doing it. It's my thing. And I don't want people to just, get these giant, things in their head where they think that, I can just take this away from this guy because, he obviously doesn't patent it, or he obviously doesn't do anything. Well, if you want to ask people who I really am, I am JakKlauZ Frosty Claus, aka KamoKlauZ. And that's KamoKlauZ. Or KLAUS. Or KAMOKAL or KALLUS. I'm KamoKlauZ, dude. I'm the original, the OG. Yes. I'm the OG KamoKlauZ. Yeah. I mean, I'm working on being myself and, and starting my own business and being happy and, So I was watching something that Clayton Waldy posted the other day, and Clayton Waldy's a friend of mine. He runs chicken stores in North Dakota, and he posted something about a guy that was a figure in Minnesota called Wally the Beer Man. Wally the Beer Man used to be at Twins games, and he was one of the most iconic characters in Minnesota. Well, I'm actually trying to be an iconic character in Minnesota. KamoKlauZ is actually trying to be noted for North Dakota, for Minnesota, North Dakota, Minnesota, because I was born in North Dakota. I was born in a small town called Lemoore, North Dakota. You probably blink you're through it. But Lemoore, North Dakota is one of the greatest places in the world, and, it's a really cool little town. It's got great people. It's got, it's got a lot of stuff, going for it. And I was born in Valley City, North Dakota, where I was born at. But I grew up in a small town called Lemoore, North Dakota. And I love Lemoore. And it's called Lamoure. And Lemoore, North Dakota always seems to have, like, volleyball champions, basketball champions. But they have a small little town. But they have such big hearts. And that's one of the things that I love about the people in Lemoore, North Dakota, is they have a big heart. And that's what I got my big heart from, is because I love people. I don't hate people. I do not hate people whatsoever. If you piss me off enough, I will hate you. But you have to really do something completely and utterly stupid or to me to make me hate you. And I don't hate people. No, I don't. I love people. Because I don't want anybody to ever hate me. So why would I want, I don't want people to hate me. I want people to love me, so I want to love them as well. I don't hate people. I really don't hate people. I really love people. I think people are great. So, and I really think that there's nothing wrong with people at all in this world. But the thing is that it's an everyday occurrence. There's people that do things that people just don't understand and they don't like, and we just deal with it. We just take it one day at a time, and we deal with it and we go with it. But so the JakKlauZ show, which we're on now, is basically going to be like Chilling with Jackson, Chilling with Craning. If you've ever watched any of those shows, basically, just how-to videos. I mean, basically me being me is all it is. So I'm talking about the brand new JakKlauZ show, which basically is my life. Anywhere I go, if I have time, I'm going to do a video, okay? Because I'm always going to do something with my life, because I love you guys as fans. I want you guys to understand that I'm just an everyday dude, But I mean, if I want to be like Jelly Roll and sing songs, I can sing songs. But sometimes YouTube doesn't let me sing because they think it's copywriting. Well, I do a lot of karaoke, but I also have stuff on SoundCloud that I'm trying to put on SoundCloud. I'm actually trying to do my own music. I'm trying to do like how people do like freestyle rap, and basically all they do is start throwing things together and whatever. Well, I throw songs together. I take all kinds of stuff and throw things together. I talked about literally going to a bar one time. And it had nothing to do with being tipsy. No, it had nothing to do with that. It was just going to a bar, and some guy walks into a bar. People say, hey, they know him because he comes there every day. And it turned out to be like a song about Cheers, is what it was kind of like. But I didn't record any of it. I just did it out of the, thin air and whatever. And I was talking to Brian Sullivan. Brian Sullivan, guys, he's from what I call so if you're watching the KamoKlauZ or the Jack Craning to KamoKlauZ documentary, if you're ever on that, I talk about places and I call them chronicles. So Brian Sullivan is from the Leesburg Chronicles. And the Leesburg Chronicles, I always say the Chronicle, because the Chronicle is the name of the newspaper in Lemoore. It's called the Lemoore Chronicle. And the Lemoore Chronicle is where you got all your information about what happened in the small town of Lemoore, North Dakota. So I always say in my documentary, if a person is from the Leesburg Chronicles, the West Virginia Chronicles, the Minnesota Chronicles, what that means is, North Dakota Chronicles, that means that they're from a place in my life where I was when I was living in North Dakota. So, but when I say Lemoore Chronicles, well, that means I lived in Lemoore, and that's where I first knew them or first met them, back when I played baseball or back when I did everything. So I've had a lot of things in my life happen. And Brian Sullivan is from the Leesburg Chronicles. He was a kid that I met when I lived in Loudoun County, and I lived in Leesburg. He was a really big Pittsburgh anything fan, because he was from Pennsylvania. He was from Pittsburgh. And Brian Sullivan is like my best friend. I mean, like, if you literally, we had a picture of us back in the day together when we were kids, and And, like, I was a little bit older than Brian. I'm still a little bit older than Brian is, but I consider him a brother. I mean, we're not blood brothers, but Brian and I, we hotboxed in a car together. I mean, we smoked weed together. We did all kinds of fucked up shit. We skipped school together. I mean, we did all kinds of crazy shit together. But we never ever did anything, like sexual or anything like that. Because Brian Sullivan was my best friend. He was somebody that I literally went to bat with because, dude, he had my back, and he literally, I wish I could have him on my podcast because I would love to have him on my podcast. I would love to fly him in, have him sit down on the couch and come on my show with me, and have him come on the KamoKlauZ show. I'd love to have him come on and talk about his life and his story. Because Brian, Brian Sullivan's one of the greatest guys in the world, and he has my back, and literally he was one of the greatest people in the world, and wrapping that up and everything. So, I mean, if he was ever to get on the show, it'd be really cool. But I was talking to him, and I was like, dude, over the years, you literally find out who your friends are. Like, you literally find out who your friends are. Now, Brendan McMillan is a guy that comes on. He's from the Alexandria Chronicles. He's from Alexandria, Minnesota. He is a great friend of mine. He comes on every single time on my podcast, and he always says, "Hey, brother." He always watches. He always knows that, he can always tell when there's something wrong with me, and he can always sense it. He can always sense it. He can always tell that there's something wrong, and he knows. And Brendan always will come on, and Brian Sullivan, I talked to him and I said, dude, you find out who your friends are after a long time of being, doing things in your life. And I'm 45. I turned 46 this year. And I've been living my life and just trying to be me and basically enjoying everything that happens and everything that goes on. And, I don't have a problem with anything. I don't have a problem with anything at all. Because the reason why I don't have problems with anything is because, one, I assess the situation with a lot of things because I try to be cool with everybody because I don't want people to be left out. Like, we have passengers sometimes that we have to use the translator tool on my phone. So I don't want them to feel like they're left out or feel like they're lonely or whatever because nobody wants to talk to them and nobody wants to give them a chance. Like, we had a thing that happened with Minnesota After Dark. We ran into this guy who was doing burnouts in a car, and he was from the Ukraine, and he spoke Ukraine, and he spoke Russian or whatever, And so I went over and talked to him, had a fucking conversation with him, made him feel like he was welcome, made him feel like he was, a part of the crew, and made him feel like he was happy and shit, But this was after everybody literally jumped down his throat for doing burnouts in the parking lot, which doing burnouts in the parking lot is not something we tolerate at Minnesota After Dark. We just don't. No, we don't. We don't tolerate it. No. But the thing is I don't know why I took my calm ass over there and asked him what was going on, to find out that all he wants to do is get a car set up and learn how to drift it at a track. He literally wants to go to a track like BIR, Brainerd International Raceway, or someplace and do burnouts. Not burnouts, but he wants to learn how to drift. And he wants to have fun. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't do it in a parking lot where we have our team meetings. And he was like, okay, I'm sorry. But one of the things that a lot of people need to understand is sometimes in this world we do things that nobody really appreciates. But you find out who your friends are. Like I'm saying, I'm going back to my original thing. You find out who your friends are in that small circle of friends. That I posted up a thing the other day that it basically said, after you've been put in the ground and your funeral is over, your family will basically get ready for having food or drink and a party. They'll mourn your death for a couple of days. They'll go back because the grieving will be over with and done with. Everybody will go back to work and not worry about you anymore. And you really wonder what is going to happen when you die. Like if you die. Now see, parents, mom and dads, they don't ever want to bury their kids. No, they don't. They never want to bury their kids. Now, I witnessed this firsthand when my best friend Dustin passed away. You know, I talk about Dustin passing away a lot because it really hurts me all the time, and Dustin was one of my greatest friends. He was 6'11". He was a tall kid who couldn't dunk a basketball, but he could play all kinds of instruments. He was great with computers. He was riding a motorcycle and a car pulled out in front of him. And he broke his 3, 4, 5 vertebrae in his neck, and he basically died on his way to the hospital. Dustin Van Camp was one of the greatest people in the entire world, and I talk about him so much, and sometimes it's hard to talk about him. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. No, it's so hard to talk about him. I mean, I miss him all the time. Dustin was one of the greatest people in the entire world. And when I had nobody, you know, not even, because I met Dustin before I met Brian. You know, I kind of met him at the same time, but you know, it was Dustin, Brian, then Eric Sullivan. You know, I mean, it was kind of a what's it called? Just a spiral, and it was just the greatest thing ever because I started watching Dustin, you know, grow up, and I mean, Dustin was just amazing. I mean, the guy was cool at everything he ever did, and he's from the Leesburg Chronicles. And he was in my life for a long time. Probably when I got to Loudoun County High School, I went there 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. No, it's not 7th, 8th, and 9th. I was there 10th, 11th, and 12th grade in Leesburg, yeah. Because I came from North Dakota 7th, 8th, 9th. 7th, 8th, and 9th, and I got there, started 10th grade. So I started in 10th grade, Loudoun County High School. Played football, you know, ended up getting hurt, got my knee hurt. I had an 86 Chevy Nova, I had a piece of shit-ass car. You know, but I took everybody everywhere. You know, the kids were going to Cool Spring Elementary School, and they were younger than I was. I was going to Loudoun County High School, and I ended up going to Loudoun County High School till I was a senior. And, you know, I lived there for a while, and it was just so fucked up. It was just so different. And I met this kid, Dustin, and Dustin was just a great kid, and he was awesome. And then I met Brian Sullivan as well. And, you know, Dustin, there was something about him, and, you know, and every day that I, see somebody driving around in a crotch rocket or a motorcycle, especially, guys like Josh and Zach. Well, Zach is a guy that's part of Minnesota After Dark. He was just in a motorcycle accident a while back. Now he finally got his license back, and he got hurt. And when he got hurt, dude, I thought I lost another friend to a motorcycle. But anyway, that was that. Well, I have to go because I have to go pick up a passenger for groom transportation. But I just want to let you guys know that from everything that you see from now on, it's going to be on the, we're going to put it onto different things. But there's not going to be other podcasts. They're going to be all on the JakKlauZ show. And so there won't be any more channels. There's no documentary about where I'm from. Everything that you see on the JakKlauZ show is the way it's going to be now. There's only going to be the JakKlauZ show, and there's going to be my hockey podcast, there's going to be the fight podcast, and then there's going to be KamoKlauZ Live. And KamoKlauZ Live is when I'm dressed up at Christmas time, and that's not until December 1st to December 26th. That's when that show opens up. But anyway, I just want to say I love you guys, and thanks for watching. And I hope to hear from you in the future.